A-hyuck.
GAWRSH.
GAWRSH. The Keyblade.
Sora, look out!
Hello. Welcome to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I'm Mayanna Berrin.
And I'm Mischa Stanton.
We're talking about our boy Goofy. Could you guess? Could you guess from all of our impressions?
And you might anticipate that this episode's gonna get a
little unserious.
Silly.
A little silly. A little silly time.
A little goofy,
I said
it.
A little goofy. Okay, Mischa.
Yeah.
Who is Goofy to you?
I had a Goofy hat from my trip to Disney World from when I was 4 years old. It was the one souvenir I brought home from that trip. It was a Goofy with a big wide brim with a pom-pom nose on the end.
Yeah, it's
big
like his
floppy
mouse
ears.
hat.
Yep.
Aww,
Yep.
That's so cute.
So even when I wasn't, I've never been like the biggest like core Disney cast fan, but like when I was clocked into it, I was a Goofy fan.
I feel like Goofy is the most distinctively different of the because we talk about like who is the core five, right? And it's like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto.
Yep.
Right. And then like you can add in like Daisy and Clarabelle and like whatever. But like the core five, it's Mickey's friend group, his girlfriend, and his dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what is your impression of Goofy? Like, what are his core adjectives? Like, what are...
well, Goofy is well-meaning but clumsy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's always wants to help. He wants to fix stuff around the house. He wants to take care of his son.
Yeah.
But he's not always the most, like, coordinated and put together. And that leads to, like, slapstick physical comedy. I feel like is Goofy's domain.
Absolutely. And he's got a very iconic voice. Like, for all of modern Goofy time, he's been voiced by Bill Farmer, the same guy.
Yep.
He is the most, he's the tallest of the core five by a wide margin.
That's true. It really offsets the silhouette of the three of them.
He sticks out like a sore thumb. His clothes are like he's got like little patches on the knees. Like he's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, and as someone who also has really poor coordination and doesn't always know where their limbs are at any given moment, I really vibe with having to patch. I identify with having to patch your clothes constantly because you're always bumping into walls and stuff.
I will say this, I'm not gonna get into but wait, Goofy's a dog and Pluto's a dog. What's going on here? I'm not gonna get into that. I don't think that that's a good use of our time.
Thank you.
So if you have strong opinions about me not getting into that, let us know on social media.
Yeah, this is a Kingdom Hearts podcast. Obviously, Goofy's really a turtle.
Exactly. 100%. Now, so here are my bullets for who is Goofy.
Go for it.
He's a father.
He sure is.
He's a friend.
Yeah.
He's emotionally intelligent. He's kind. He's unassuming, which means people assume he's weak.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure we'll get into this. We're going to cover Goofy first and then Kingdom Hearts later. But like, do people assume he's weak in Kingdom Hearts?
No. I'm talking more so like specifically in Goofy in the animated kind of realm. I'm mostly speaking especially about the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Like Goofy, Mickey's starred in movies and video games and stuff. The Goofy movie is a huge iconic Disney movie. It was animated out of Disney France, like right when the Renaissance was happening. So there were like a bunch of movies in concurrent development. Mm-hmm. So the Goofy movie was animated out of Disney France. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the Goofy movie? What do you think of it?
I love the Goofy movie. I also watched Goof Troop, the TV show that came before. Shout out.
Hell yes.
Maybe it's just because it played a lot on the Disney Channel, but like I have accepted an extremely Goofy movie into my heart.
I think it's fine to do that. I think that's okay. I think that's great.
So Mayanna and I have this other podcast, The Wandering Path, it's a D&D actual play show.
Yes.
And like I want to say 4 or 5 episodes in the middle of our story, I just like inexplicably pivoted to skateboarding content.
Oh yeah.
And I kept calling it Tony Hawk Pro Skater content, but in my heart, it was an extremely Goofy movie content.
Hell yes.
And also the Disney Channel original movie Brink.
That's like, so funny.
The triangle of those three things.
I love that.
So yeah, so
Great.
So a Goofy movie like really sits very close to my heart.
Yeah.
It's cannot disregard Powerline.
Cannot disregard Powerline.
A banger to this day.
Yeah, and it's like
eye to eye.
a really beautiful eye to eye, a really beautiful story about a father and a son. And the idea of being like embarrassed by your goofy parent.
Yeah.
Like, and wanting to individuate from that person and wanting to like be the cool teen who's going on dates with the girl he has a crush on, and the thing standing in your way is this goofy parent you have.
Who's well-meaning but clumsy, including socially.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, in that movie, Pete is there, and Pete is like in the sort of, I like to compare it to like Back to the Future parents, where it's like Biff parent who's a bully but also successful and has money, and his kid's like kind of spoiled and whatever.
Yeah, and he summons Army of Heartless to overrun the town.
And wears like a really weirdly body skimming fit for some reason and is obsessed with Maleficent. But Pete in the Goofy movie is like there as sort of the foil to Goofy, who's like, you're an idiot, I'm smart and whatever. And so Pete reveals inadvertently to Goofy that Max is embarrassed of him. And I would say there's like two core big scenes in a Goofy movie. There's the crossroads scene.
Yeah.
And then there's the ravine scene. And so the crossroads scene is like Max has been holding the map on this road trip because Goofy is taking Max on like a road trip, and Max really wants to go to this Powerline concert because Roxanne's going to be there, and also he loves Powerline, and it's going to be a whole thing.
Who doesn't love Powerline?
Who doesn't? Everyone loves Powerline. But Goofy feels like his son is slipping away from him, and he wants to have this relationship with his son.
And notably, like, Max's mom isn't around.
No.
And so if Max is drifting away from Goofy, like, he's going to be in an empty nest all by himself.
Yeah. And
which, you know, even as a kid, you can clock, like, oh, that's, you know, a really earnest motivation for this, even if he clumsily goes about it.
100% empathetic motivation from Goofy. Did they confirm, I genuinely can't remember this, if it's that Goofy's, like, if Goofy's wife / Max's mom is dead, or she's just not in the picture?
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Ooh, fact check. Uh-oh.
Okay, so I've looked it up. In an interview given in December 2020,
hell yeah,
a Goofy movie director, Kevin Lima, stated, "We talked about Max's mother casually, but there's never been any conclusive evidence of who or what she might be, and it's all speculation. There's no concrete answer to this question."
So then my speculation, because I think it makes it more complicated, is that she's alive and left Goofy.
Yeah.
And I think that for whatever reasons that might be, that is still a sore spot of embarrassment, right? That it's like Goofy clearly can keep a roof over Max's head, get him to school on time, like feed him, clothe him, buy him a skateboard,
replace all the furniture he's constantly breaking,
and fix it and set up Christmas decorations. I love like the Disney will, you know, for a time had these like straight to DVD, like little collections of short, like 3 short holiday specials that they do. And like, it's always like Goofy trying to hang Christmas lights and Max helping. And it's a mess, but they're like hanging out and doing whatever. But like, regardless, if a part of that story is Goofy couldn't keep his wife in the picture, or she decided she could do better, or it's interesting twofold. If Goofy's ex-wife / Max's mom left, Max chose to stay with Goofy, or Max was too young to choose and she left Max with Goofy.
I had not even considered that as an option.
But think about it, because it's like Max is here with Goofy.
Right.
Which means, you know, because it's like if you're young enough as a child, it's like if you volunteer your custody like away, regardless, it's like, you know, Max's mom didn't want him, or Goofy fought really hard for custody. Regardless, it's like Goofy is Max's parent.
Yeah.
And Max's mom is not around. And it could be this thing of like, she decided she could do better than Goofy. She didn't want to be a parent. Like all of this kind of whatever.
I mean, like, now we're getting so dark in the Goofy episode, Mayanna. I didn't want to get dark in the Goofy episode.
But all that is to say is Max probably has a lot of hang-ups, right? And a lot of like opinions and perspective on who he feels his dad is as a figure in his life.
Yeah.
And Goofy just loves Max and wants what's best for Max and wants to be in Max's life. Literally, like one of the big lines in the movie is like, I know you're going to have your own life. I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And Max, in this really big kind of crossroads. It's a literal crossroads. They can turn one way and go to California, which is what Max's little machination has been, or they can turn to the other direction and go to the ravine where Goofy wanted to go to take him on this fishing trip and bond with his son. And Max tells him to go left, which is the way to California. And Goofy is heartbroken and betrayed and mad about this and like blindsided by this. And it's a really beautiful story. And I think it adds this level of humanity to Goofy that, like, we all have big, strong feelings about our different Disney characters, but Goofy's a father!
Goofy's a father.
Goofy's a father!
That's true. No other Disney character maintains this dynamic with another one.
No. Even Pete, who sometimes has a son, it's different.
Yeah, and, Donald has his nephews, but,
it's like an adventurous kind of, G. Willikers,
Yeah, Goofy's media is about the bond between father and son.
Yeah, and also we've all had that moment where we're embarrassed by our parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so my factoid, my weird spicy factoid about a Goofy movie is, I guess there was recently, I think, either a documentary or just more interviews and more information kind of came out about a Goofy movie.
Sure, clearly they did interviews in December 2020.
Katzenberg wanted Steve Martin to play Goofy in a Goofy movie.
What?
And the two directors were like, so you want Steve Martin doing the Goofy voice? And Katzenberg said, no.
Just Steve Martin.
Just Steve Martin doing his regular voice as Goofy because it'll sell really well. And the people working on a Goofy movie were like, okay, we think this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But we have to prove it's a terrible idea. So they called Bill Farmer in, and they're already in the middle of working on the movie. So they call Bill Farmer in, and he's like, what's going on, guys? And they're like, we're going to do a couple scenes, but do your normal voice. And Bill's like, why? And they're like, we gotta do this. We gotta try this out. So Bill's thinking, I'm going to get fired, right? Or something terrible is about to happen because it's this is who Goofy is, and now we're doing this other thing.
Goofy's 60% the voice.
Goofy, yeah. And so they do this thing. They do these test scenes. The directors bring it to Katzenberg, and they go, just so you know, we're not on board with this. They show him the scenes, and Katzenberg goes, you know what, you're right. We're gonna let's do it Goofy as intended.
And so they proved to the Disney higher ups that even with that ridiculous voice, Goofy can have inner depths.
Yeah,
which leads directly into his appearance in Kingdom Hearts.
Right, exactly. So Kingdom Hearts Goofy. Who is Kingdom Hearts Goofy? He's the captain of the Royal Guard. Mm-hmm. One of the interesting things that I was looking up is explicitly, Goofy technically doesn't have a weapon. He has a shield.
He has a shield.
Which he uses to push things and spin around. But that's not a weapon. It's predominantly a way to prevent further harm from happening. Mostly to himself. But he doesn't have a sword. He doesn't have an axe. He doesn't have a mace. He doesn't have any other things a captain of the guard would theoretically have.
Have a 9mm revolver.
No, he just has a shield.
Yeah.
Because he's not really about violence.
No, it's clear from the jump, because he only wields a shield, that he is here to protect.
He's here to protect.
Defend.
And he's here to de-escalate if possible.
If possible. A lot of these ansems and what have you, they don't want to de-escalate nothing.
They don't want to de-escalate nothing about nobody. So, but I think that's interesting. So to the question we had asked of Donald, why is Goofy the tank?
Yeah.
Because we talked about Goofy can't be the spellcaster because he's clumsy. But why is Goofy the tank? Why is that his role?
Because he's a father.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
He can take on a lot. He can take on the world because he's a father.
Yeah.
And also he's comically indestructible in a lot of ways. He goes through.
That's also true. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
He's indestructible. He gets thrown off buildings. He falls from space to Earth. He crashes into a goofy shaped hole in the ground.
I know this is a different Bill Farmer character, but his tops are made out of rubber and his bottoms are made out of springs.
Oh yeah. That's a good, I like that.
Thank you.
You know, he's the comic relief, quote unquote, but so is Donald, right? And in some ways, Donald more so than Goofy in the Kingdom Hearts games specifically. Goofy actually, because Donald and Sora are both kind of dumb in the same way.
Yeah, they're immature.
Goofy has to be the voice of reason.
Right.
And so more often than not, like the way that the joke constructions will happen is like Sora won't get it, Donald won't get it, and Goofy will be like, that guy looks kind of sad, doesn't he? And they'll go like, you're right, Goofy. You're right. Or like,
you guys should be more in touch with your emotions.
Because he's a father. The other thing that's kind of funny is in Kingdom Hearts 1, Goofy's like, we should follow Pluto. And Donald's like, that's dumb. We're going to go this way. And Pluto finds Sora immediately in Traverse Town.
Donald. Donald.
Because Goofy is not interested in proving that he's right. In the way that Donald is.
That's true. He's not trying to like earn a station. He's not trying to like prove that he's the greatest wizard of all time. He's not trying to be the one who finds the Keyblade Mountain. He just wants to find the guy.
He just wants to help.
Because Mickey is wise and Mickey said we should.
Yeah, and Mickey said we should. And also it's like, in a way, Goofy's just there to make sure Donald is safe. Right? Like...
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where you might, I mean, I know it was a letter on his desk, but like you imagine if there was a scene in Kingdom Hearts 1 where Mickey sends them on this quest, it would be like, there's an epic magical struggle coming. We need our greatest wizard to find the key to our salvation. And Goofy, you should go to make sure he doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah, and also like he's a mage and he's going to get downed a lot. Can you just like, can you protect him?
Yeah.
And I think that's a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of canonical appearances, Goofy's technical first appearance is in Birth by Sleep.
Right.
Because he's with Donald and Mickey is training under Yensid. There's not like a lot going on there, but there is a moment where Mickey is in trouble and Donald and Goofy prepare to depart for the Keyblade graveyard to save Mickey from Xehanort. And Yensid stops them and says, you guys are not ready to fight Xehanort. Which is really cute and kind of like a fun circle back for later. So they don't go. Mickey like succeeds to the extent that he needs to. Then we get into Kingdom Hearts proper.
Well, actually, before we get into Kingdom Hearts, can I ask about a couple of bits in here?
Sure, go
that
for
we
it.
didn't really talk about in Donald's one either, but like, so there are also even earlier canonical appearances, right, of Donald and Goofy, because isn't there a Three Musketeers world?
There's a Three Musketeers world, but it's in Dream Drop Distance, but it is like technically, you know what's interesting about that is it's kind of like a parallel universe.
Okay.
From what I can glean, those versions of Donald and Goofy are not them. I don't think it's them in their like same time frame.
They're sort of like frozen in amber kind of projections.
or it's like an A-hyuck a little bit, because it's like in that version Donald's a coward and like Minnie's a princess and it's also like France technically. So it's like it's a little weird in that one.
Yeah. So we haven't acknowledged that yet.
No, that's fair. Yet from what I can gather, they don't have memories of themselves in the Musketeer world. I don't believe. I'll have to double click on that when we go into the Dream Drop Distance recap episode. But I think they're kind of like, that's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for this diversion.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. It does really complicate matters that the Three Musketeers world exists.
Yeah.
Because also the Three Musketeers movie canonizes the relationship of Goofy and Clarabelle.
Well, that's where that is.
It's like a straight up part of it in the Musketeers movie. I actually watched the Three Musketeers movie a lot growing up. I really like that movie. But yeah, because then in an extremely Goofy movie, Goofy has a different love interest.
Right, the professor.
Professor from Max's college. So Goofy's
got no problem with the ladies.
Goofy maybe a little bit, hear me out, like maybe a little, he's a father.
So what you're saying is he fucks.
Yeah.
GAWRSH.
Canonically, he fucks. He's got girls. He's got the girlies. A-hyuck. In Kingdom Hearts 1, he's basically just there as like a moral center, right? He's good-natured. He's very supportive.
He's tempering hot-headed Donald.
Yeah, he's he's de-escalating conflict again. Like he's just there to kind of keep everybody at peace. If you were on like a road trip, he's the one that you're like, can we just sidebar for a second? Can we just like take a long walk? You know, and he's like, yeah, it sounds pretty difficult, but I think if you tell him how you feel, you might feel. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So one of the big moments for Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 1 is when you get to Hollow Bastion and Riku usurps Keyblade wieldership from Sora. Donald is like, well, our orders are to follow the Keyblade wielder. And Goofy is very reluctant, but goes along with Donald. Again, probably because Goofy wants to make sure Donald is safe.
Yeah, I mean, there's also this thread of like, Goofy is incredibly loyal to King Mickey.
He is very loyal to King Mickey.
When his orders from King Mickey conflict with what Goofy thinks he should do in a given moment, he tends to be like, well, I feel like this, but Mickey's really smart and he's like on a whole nother level with all of this stuff. So I think we should follow what Mickey said.
Yeah. And also like he is the captain of the guard. Like his job is not necessarily to like divert from the mission, right?
That's true.
It's just to ensure that the mission goes smoothly. And again, if I'm Goofy and I'm putting my dad hat on, between following
does the
Donald's-
dad hat also look like Goofy's face with the pom-pom on the nose and the big floppy ears?
That is the dad hat. Yeah. That's 100% the dad hat. It's also the hat that Genie wears at the end of Aladdin.
It
so
is.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I think that's why I got it at Disney World.
It's
because it's been Aladdin.
That's good stuff. If I'm putting my dad hat on, GAWRSH, I'm probably going to go with Donald because I'm more concerned that Donald is going to get hurt than I am Sora.
Yeah.
Like if Sora's really the Keyblade master and I've seen him do some shit up until this point, I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. Yeah. Like but I do have to stay with my homie because I'm not necessarily positive that he's going to be okay.
Without any restraints, Donald might pop off a Zeta flare and we
can't
need to contain that.
We could not possibly have that. And so what's fun about Goofy, though, in this moment is when you go into the castle of Hollow Bastion and Riku's like on his fuck shit. Sora's like, I don't care. My friends are my power. Riku's about to throw like an energy blast. And Goofy goes over and shields Sora and like kind of denies a direct order from the king and is more so concerned with like, I'm not going to let Sora get hurt right now because I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah, because that kid is now just a kid without a magic weapon. And that man's a father.
Yeah, that man is a father. And also, like, Sora's a teen boy around Max's age.
Yeah.
And, like,
actually that, though.
Yeah. It's interesting. Up until this point in all of the games, Goofy does not get any sort of canonical thing referencing his son.
No.
Like, we get to see Donald with Daisy. We get to see Donald with the nephews. We get to see Donald with Scrooge. We do not really see Goofy's extended lore stuff.
No, and to that point, one of my favorite pieces of fan art, I've mentioned it on the show before.
It's such a good piece of fan art.
It's someone who's clearly like supposed to be a new kid in Sora's place, and Donald's position is filled by Webby from DuckTales, and Max is taking over for Goofy in the trio.
So good.
But it's part of the Disney like apocrypha, right? It's like in the supplementary texts. It's in the Disney Talmud, if you will.
Yes, and the Disney Old Testament.
Yeah. So, like, it's not part of the core cast, so they leave it sort of nebulous in Kingdom Hearts until they decide they want to canonize it later.
Well, that and also Donald's popularity in Japan, I think, is far above Goofy's.
Yeah. So, what is Goofy's popularity like in Japan? Do you know about that?
It's like fine. It's just not on the same level of discussion as Donald. Like Goofy, I think. The most popular Disney characters in Japan, from what I can glean, it's like Donald, Stitch, like Rapunzel's up there, Elsa and Anna, like
a global phenomenon.
So I think Goofy probably falls somewhere in like we love him, but not in the like obsessive like way that I think some other characters occupy.
Sure. So they gave more priority to Donald's supporting cast, and Goofy they just let sort of be himself.
Yeah, he's there, he's chilling. And what's interesting is like Goofy is slightly more emotionally intelligent, I think, in Kingdom Hearts and the Goofy movie than he is portrayed in a majority of the animated media.
Yeah. Like to the point where like if you took away the silly voice, like, and changed the model. Like, in Kingdom Hearts, like, that's a different guy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, like, Goofy, again, because you've got so much characterization happening with Sora, and then by extension Donald, Goofy is just a good balance point, right? Hello, it is I, Mayanna, once again thanking you for listening to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I am also here to remind you of important information, like the fact that we have a Patreon. You can find us on Simple and Clean Pod at Patreon. You can sign up for the $5 final mix tier to get ad-free versions of the episodes you listen to wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can also get bonus content. What? You can listen to us talk about Dispatch, a little video game that I shipped and wrote and did voice acting on. If you want to buy Dispatch, you can do that at Steam or PS5. And if you want to hear us talk about that, you can do it by signing up for the Patreon. I'm sorry, I'm just really excited because it's right after Thanksgiving and we're resting and it's a nice time. Some other interesting updates. My actual play show, Story Quest, is going to have some fun content releasing the week of December 1st. We got to work with a very cool writer named Andrew Rowe, who's working on an adaptation of his own fantasy series into a TTRPG called Arcane Ascension. And we got to play it, and I brought some really fun friends on, like Luis Carrazzo and Oscar Montoya, friend of the pod. So if you want to take a look at that, find us at Story Quest on Instagram for all those delicious updates. As you are all aware at this point, I am sure, Simple and Clean Pod is a part of the Multitude Podcast Collective, a collective of people making podcasts about things they're passionate about, such as science. Science shapes every part of our lives, but so much of its influence is overlooked or buried in the past. Tiny Matters is an award-winning podcast about tiny things, from molecules to microbes, that have a big and often surprising impact on society. From deadly diseases to forensic toxicology to the search for extraterrestrial life, hosts and former scientists Sam Jones and Deboki Chakravarti embrace the awe and messiness of science and its place in history and today, and how it could impact our world's future. Tiny Matters is brought to you by the American Chemical Society, a nonprofit scientific organization based in Washington, D.C., and is a part of the Multitude Podcast Collective. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts. That's Tiny Matters. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts. And just before I let you go, I wanted to take this last second to thank one of our sponsors for this episode, Gender Free World Clothing. Gender Free World Clothing was founded in 2015 by a little group of like-minded individuals who passionately believe that we all have the right to wear well-fitting clothing which suits our style choices. People's bodies are all different. In addition to height and size, there are variations in hips, bottoms, shoulders, and chest sizes. One size does not always fit all. After extensive research, Gender Free World Clothing has created shirts in 4 body-shaped templates: the Alex, the Billy, the Charlie, and the Drew. And these ranges accommodate those different variations. The Alex is for wider hips, the Billy is for larger busts, the Charlie is for shoulders and hips in similar proportion, and the Drew is for those with broad shoulders, narrow hips, and longer bodies. No matter how you're shaped, you're sure to find a style that is going to suit you. If you're interested in shopping with Gender Free World, they are offering 12% off with our code SIMPLE12 at checkout on your first order. That's SIMPLE12 for 12% off on your first order. So to get yourself something nice, you can go over to gfwclothing.com. That's gfwclothing.com for 12% off your first order with our code SIMPLE12. Now, the real big moment for Goofy in the Kingdom Hearts franchise is in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, let's briefly discuss, because again, Chain of Memories, Donald's doing instigation-y shit, Goofy is there, but
nobody's giving good advice in Chain of Memories.
Nobody's giving good advice in Chain of Memories. This we've established. I do think it's cute, Goofy, in the end sequence where Naminé is Naminé's gonna put our memories back together, right, Naminé? It's just very cute. Goofy, for the most part, in a lot of the games, his representation quite uncomplicated.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Hearts 2. This scene has been memed on. This might be one of the most out of context famous moments in Kingdom Hearts, period.
I agree, because this moment in Kingdom Hearts 2 that we're about to discuss is emblematic of that thing that people try to do when they disparage Kingdom Hearts, which is to say, why are all those big anime men talking about serious things next to Donald Duck and Goofy?
Yeah. So, Mischa, do you recall? Can you walk me through your experience of this scene? or tell me what you recall of it.
What I recall of it?
Or just like,
I played Kingdom Hearts 2 very recently.
Yeah. So to recap this moment for me.
The conflict is escalating.
Yes, it is.
The heartless hordes that the nobody armies of Organization 13 have built up have reached a critical mass between him and Maleficent's return, who is gathering her own army of darkness in order to take revenge on Sora and King Mickey.
For defeating her in Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah.
They are summoning this mass of heartless down in a canyon in Hollow Bastion, which is being rebuilt after the events of the first game.
Yes. So we're in Hollow Bastion.
We're in Hollow Bastion.
A very dramatic world.
Yes. And you look out over this field and you can just see the teeming hordes advancing slowly from up beneath the pit beneath Maleficent's dark castle.
So menacing and dramatic.
And it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like, how are we ever going to make a dent in this?
Mm-hmm.
But this is also sort of the first time that we've had Mickey along with Sora. They've been separated for a lot of the game because Mickey's sort of been on his own mission. And this is the part where they meet back up. So Mickey's like, between the four of us, we got this covered.
And he's in his cool robe.
And he's in his cool robe with the cutout ears. And he's like, if the four of us are together, I know we can defeat anything. And right at that moment, a rock.
A giant rock. Well, you just beat Demyx.
You just beat Demyx.
You've just done the Demyx fight, which is really hard.
So hard. And
it's super difficult.
Yes.
Demyx is another member of Organization 13 we will discuss soon.
But his fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 is brutal.
It's one of the most iconically difficult.
And
it's
so,
ranked.
And so you do feel like, compared to that, what could challenge you next? And then from off screen, this rock flies through the air and conks Goofy right on the head.
He takes the hit for Mickey.
Oh.
It was going for Mickey.
Oh, that's right.
And Goofy takes the bullet.
And
which is a giant boulder to the head.
And it conks him right on the head. Classic cartoon stuff.
Yep.
And Goofy's out cold.
Yeah.
Now, Goofy's out cold. It kind of looks like Goofy might have just died.
They present it as though Goofy has died.
Like,
everyone is like on the ground, like mourning Goofy.
Well, like throughout this whole game, like people are getting hit by gun blades and you never see visible wounds. You know, like people are getting attacked by Heartless and the only thing that happens to them is like you hear a scratching sound and your HP drops a little bit. So like all of a sudden real world physics are injuring these characters for this moment right here. And Donald rushes to his side. Sora rushes to his side. They're like, oh my God, Goofy.
They're like, Goofy, no.
Mickey's standing in this courtyard, just like looks over, like gives this like tender moment, but knows that like his friends are already surrounding him. He's like, huh. And then he looks out over the battlefield and he goes, they'll pay for this.
It's so crazy.
And he tosses off his dark robe and he summons his Keyblade and he Naruto runs down into that canyon.
It is so... Mischa, why?
I don't know.
So this is...
Because you do this fight, and this is a huge fight. It's a big set piece for the game. I'm going to cover it later when we talk about Kingdom Hearts 2. I could gush forever about this fight. But you do this fight, and you get to the end, and then Goofy is fine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna quote to you the Kingdom Hearts wiki.
Yeah.
This scene, despite its true intent to be a reference to Goofy's many wallops on the head and other mishaps over the years, by far is the most mature scene in the series, with the concept of death, parentheses, to a well-loved character, no less, and parentheses, albeit supposed, and is one of the many hints of the more mature feel of the Organization 13 storyline. Then the first game, Goofy himself is confused as to why they were so relieved to see he was alive, reminding Mickey of his many regular head injuries.
Yeah.
GAWRSH, Your Majesty, I get bumped on the head all the time.
You know, have you seen the movie Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes, I have.
It's like Chris Evans's like debut in film, and it's like this over the top parody of 90s teen movies.
Yes.
And there's like some subplots about the football team, and there's this one guy on the football team named Reggie Ray, and like throughout the movie they're always like, Reggie Ray, you got to be careful, you only have 3 concussions left. And like that's what that reminds me of. It's like, Goofy, you better be careful, you only have 2 concussions left.
That is so funny. I feel like it is one of those scenes where it goes on a little too long in its seriousness, but I do feel like it is just one big setup for like a really fire joke. But because so much dramatic stuff happens between the setup and the punchline. And
again, this intense, huge fight.
There's no music for most of the scene.
Yeah.
It's just like, just like harrowing wind sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It's
but
crazy.
Also it's iconic and like
it's great.
It's so funny.
It puts Goofy at the center of the Kingdom Hearts narrative in a way that no scene before it does.
Or after, honestly. They'll pay for this. Like it's just it feels not even like fan fiction. I don't know what it feels like. It feels like cinema.
Yeah.
It feels like absolute cinema. So then after that, we don't ever talk about it again. So then they go towards the final battle. The interesting thing that I found, and I think it is true of nearly every, if not every final fight in a Kingdom Hearts game, is they find a way to remove Goofy and Donald from either the first, middle, or end stage of the fight.
There's always a portion of it where Sora has to battle alone.
Yeah.
Or in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's with Riku, but like without your constant
Without my boys.
Yeah.
And so that kind of happens again at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. The iconic moment for me at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 that features Goofy is like we see Goofy and Donald in full render. Like full delicious CG render.
That's the most 3D they've ever looked.
The most 3D, and they ever will again. But yeah, they make it to Destiny Islands. Like they're all at Destiny Islands together. It's so sweet and lovely.
Yeah. And I'll say to that like nobody revels in and all was right with the world again like Goofy. Like that laugh like cuts through the moment.
Yeah.
You know, that like when the plot finally resolves at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, and what a satisfying ending, we'll get to it a little bit later, but like Goofy like really wears it on his sleeve. Like that, like we did it. We're back in a happy place.
Goofy is like, okay, like yes, Sora is the heart because he's the protagonist, but it's like Goofy is the heart in the way that like I don't know, you just love him. Like you just love him, you know? He's like a warm hug. Mm-hmm. It's so great. Then we have brief appearances in Coded.
Okay.
Where
Real Goofy?
Real Goofy.
Ooh.
Real Goofy. So it's kind of interesting. So so they've digitized we will talk about Kingdom Hearts Coded, which is one of the games that people hate.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion yet because I have not played it. But I'm getting the hate from the internet. But like Mickey has digitized Jimmy's journal and has created like a simulation to go through the memories of old Kingdom Hearts again. And Data Sora is there. And so it's kind of funny because you're playing the game as Data Sora, but there's like a meta understanding that like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy can kind of like see what's happening or are like tracking it as it's happening. So there is a moment where Data Sora gets to Data Hollow Bastion and real Goofy and real Donald kind of intervene to help Data Sora get through like an obstacle. It's really cute. And then they like hop back out, which is really funny.
Because Data Sora's friends are also his power.
I know, they care about him. It's sweet. Then you get to Dream Drop Distance where, you know, Sora and Riku are doing the mastery exam. So Donald and Goofy, as we understand them, don't appear necessarily because Sora and Riku are like hopping and doing the dreams and stuff.
Yeah, so what are they doing?
So they're, I guess, waiting. Like they're just kind of like waiting to see how it goes.
All right. They couldn't also like be training with Yen Sid or something?
I mean, they probably are, right? But it's also like this is Sora and Riku's thing. So they're there for like moral support. But you get like little monster allies in Dream Drop Distance that can help you. But you do go to Three Musketeers World, which again, unclear. I'll double check, but like,
so this is in Dream Drop Distance. They're framed as like these worlds
are sleeping.
These
are sleeping worlds.
They're like weird and they exist in a dream state. So the fact that it's not quite the real Goofy makes sense. But like, doesn't the Three Musketeers Mickey show an awareness of other worlds?
That's
also,
a good question.
If I recall correctly,
I think you might be right. I think it's so tricky, right? Because it's like with the alternate reality versions of characters and like I don't know, I'll when we do the recap of Dream Drop Distance, I'll clarify. But regardless, it's like Goofy's there and Donald's there and Mickey's there and Minnie's there and Sora's guiding them through the story of the Three Musketeers movie.
Right. Well, and the only other option I could think of for what Goofy's doing during Dream Drop Distance is like, all right, thank goodness he's got his mastery exam. This is my weekend with Maxie.
Aw, yeah. And he's like, Dad, how's it going? He's like, GAWRSH, I think Sora's going to do it. I think he's going to unlock the power of waking. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
There's a moment in where nothing gathers.
Yep.
Where Goofy and Donald come and help fight the Xehanort Guardian. And then at the end, in the secret ending, they're there wondering about Sora, Leia, and Riku. And then they're surprised when Kairi appears.
Yeah, the secret ending of... is it a secret ending? The ending of Dream Drop Distance is really like sort of a setup for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Exactly. And then we get into Kingdom Hearts 3 and, Sora's strength has been zapped because we need a canonical reason why Sora's level 1 at the beginning of every game. And it's because of the events that happened at the end of Dream Drop Distance. But he did not succeed the mastery exam.
Sure. Well, I would say in this bit of the games, this is where Goofy really seems like a parent because he keeps being like, so Sora, did you get the power of waking? And Sora's like, nah, I didn't get it. And Goofy's like, Sora, you were supposed to do your homework. Come on, man.
Yeah. So, they bop around some more Kingdom Hearts 3 Disney worlds. And then we get to the Keyblade Graveyard at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. And Donald fires off the Zeta Flare. Yeah. And Goofy especially seems to know what that means.
Yep.
Knows that it's dangerous and is like, Donald, no!
Donald, don't!
And he does. And then, during this moment, during this like big heartless tornado, Donald loses his heart and so does Goofy and so do many of the other Guardians. And then Sora has to go and get them all back.
Yep.
But like, that is a crazy thing that happens. Like your two companions lose their hearts for a brief period of in-game time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What's Sora gonna tell Max?
I do. Oh, man. It's also so funny because the voice actor who plays Max played Haku in the English dub of Spirited Away. And I feel like Haku is a spiritual successor to Riku as a character.
100%.
Like they feel like they're like same font or like different guy, same font. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. This moment, I always come back to it. Obviously, it's one of the most iconic moments in Kingdom Hearts 3. Mm-hmm. But like the idea that like Goofy was there the last time Donald used Zeta Flare and it went bad.
It's so the richness of subconscious lore that this moment unlocks is so funny because we don't know what that moment was.
I know. Like, what do you mean don't? That's such a specific choice.
It's such a specific choice. I'll never stop wondering.
Yeah.
I'll never stop wondering. And I know we had our speculation on what we think that was in the Donald episode.
Yeah, but, so for this moment, I'd like to imagine that Disney-centric prequel game that we keep imagining in our minds.
Where Yensid can fuck,
Where Yensid can fuck, and Mickey's in training, and King Triton is in training,
yes!
and the two of them are in training as well. And where do you think Donald learned Zeta Flare
yes!
from? And, but in training, something bad happened, and Goofy was there for him,
Yeah, and, yeah. Oh, I love it.
I don't know.
Anyway, so then we get into the end game. Goofy and Donald are there with Sora for a brief moment in Scala at Kylum, and then we get into the final fight where Sora is fighting Xehanort predominantly by himself at the very end. But they're all, they all make it out. And they make it back to Disney Castle, and, all of the Disney characters are watching fireworks at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
And then they say, well, everything's safe. What do you say we hop in our old gummy ship and visit our friends?
Yeah. But that's as far as we know right now. And Goofy obviously makes an appearance in Melody of Memory because they're just playing through the music and the memories but stuff. But that's kind of it for Goofy as of now. Now we do know for a fact, because it was in the end of the trailer of Kingdom Hearts 4, that Donald and Goofy will appear in the game in some way.
Unreal 5 engine Goofy.
Unreal 5 engine Goofy. It is crisp.
With ray tracing with that torch.
Crisp
looking so good.
Stuff. But yeah, I think Goofy is so the same throughout the games, which I think is good, right?
Yeah.
Even having Donald have a little bit of the character development of growing to Sora, Goofy is just there as the nice backbone of society,
the
shield, the foundational safe structure.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, obviously in the trio of them, in Sora, Donald, Goofy, exclusively in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's third.
He's third.
He's last.
Someone needs to ground these two other chuckle fucks.
Yes, he does. Which is funny that it's Goofy that's the grounding energy.
Well, I know. That's the thing, is like, in all other media, and I said it at the beginning of the episode, right? Goofy's like foundational quality is that he means well, but he's clumsy.
Yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts, Goofy's not really that clumsy.
No, he's not. He's the opposite, in fact. Like he's the most grounded of the core three. And in fact, a lot of the physical comedy is Donald's.
Right.
Like Donald gets squished in a door and flattened in Kingdom Hearts 1. Donald succumbs to greed in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like but again, if we're going off the fact that Donald is a much more popular character in Japan, it would make sense that the majority of the fun, weird little moments would go to Donald rather than Goofy.
Yes. Well, so I want to ask you, Mayanna, if you ran the zoo.
Oh, wow. If I ran the zoo for
where
Goofy,
would you put Goofy's clumsiness?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think it would have been really fun to see a little bit more mini gamification throughout the games. And, you know, we see a lot of the mini games predominantly in things like the Ratatouille segments in Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Winnie the Pooh segments across the Kingdom Hearts games. So it would have been fun to see some Goofy, like maybe like he needs to make it down like a balance beam.
Oh yeah, like the different scenes in Timeless River where they show like little Mickey snippets.
Yeah.
Like having like a Goofy Fix-It section.
Yeah, Goofy Fix-It, or like Goofy's on a big bowling ball and you need to like move ledges to like guide it down a thing or whatever. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, like Goofy could have been a fun character by which we could add more silliness throughout the games. But that's not really what we're here for, I guess. Like, it also would have been neat to see some Powerline stuff. Yeah. Or like if we could have had a Goofy alter ego disco time, you know?
I mean, it's right there in the lyrics, right? If we listen to each other's heart, we'll find that we're never
too far apart.
That's like Kingdom Hearts.
That's literally Kingdom Hearts. And like, I know that there's a moment in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories where they're all worried they're going to forget each other and they like promise that they're like, hey, no matter what, like we'll know that we're friends. But like, yeah, Goofy, again, outside of this really harrowing moment in Kingdom Hearts 2, Goofy, and maybe part of it is like because that moment is such a memed on moment. Maybe there's a little insecurity around it.
I think the reason that moment is memed is because it's such an outlier.
It is such an outlier. It's like a tonally... it's funny, in a game series that is so all about tonal dissonance, the severity, the gravity of that scene especially, it really shakes you. Yeah. And it also... But you know what's kind of interesting about it too is it does make you feel like the danger is real.
It definitely does that.
Yeah.
You've never seen a more serious character than King Mickey throwing off his robe saying, they'll pay for this.
It also feels like, in a weird way, the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of like a Family Guy joke where they're almost making fun of Final Fantasy moments where a character dies.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Like they're like doing very like intelligent meta commentary jokes about, and then what's funny is like not far away from that scene later, you've got Cloud and Leon back to back having a dramatic like,
oh my God,
how many can you take? I don't know, how many can you take? Like, you know, like that kind of like
that moment is the best moment in Final Fantasy. Actually, where Cloud and Leon are back to back with their giant swords fighting hordes of enemies. Yeah.
It's so good. Well, I'll say this too. Have you ever played the Dissidia games?
No.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that in a deep dive episode on the Patreon. But like the trash talk meta commentary on the Dissidia characters, because it's like the Final Fantasy version of Super Smash Brothers, where they're like doing weird meta jokes at each other. It's so funny.
Cool.
But anyway, going back to Goofy. Mischa, final thoughts, Goofy and Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, that's the thing, is like, I love Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. I love Goofy in Disney things. I feel like these are two separate characters.
They absolutely are two separate characters.
I feel like I said, like the fundamental thing that makes Goofy in the Disney canon is like the thing they get rid of in Kingdom Hearts. I think Goofy in Kingdom Hearts is a cool, good, heartfelt character.
Yeah.
He's definitely a father.
Yeah.
They definitely carry that energy over, if not the literalness of having Max in the game.
The father energy.
Yeah, the father energy is strong.
Yeah.
The protective,
He's mature.
The protective nature character, the fact that he's consistently the most mature of those three, and like even above other characters outside of that trio, like Goofy stands out as one of the more mature characters in the game entirely.
The one consistently who observes the emotions of other people, identifies them correctly, and makes Sora and Donald realize that those are the emotions other characters are feeling.
Yeah, I feel like in the levels of maturity of characters in the game, like Yensid obviously at the top as the wise and
up
sage.
There.
I would say Goofy's above Diz.
Oh yeah, no, like Goofy is the sage of the group.
Yeah.
Like, which I think is cool and good. And and it's also funny because, if you were to line up, because we talked about this, like, how old is Donald? Like, how old is Goofy? Like, late 30s.
Late 30s at least, yeah.
Late 30s or maybe early 40s. A rambunctious early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So he is, like, maturity-wise and theoretically, canonically, age-wise, the oldest. He's probably older than Mickey is.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense, again, that, Captain of the Guard, a little more seasoned. Again, a father, like vigilant, caring, tending to the needs of others, protecting them.
Yeah, a great, interesting character. Not one that where if you were just to describe it to me in a vacuum, I would go, that's Goofy.
I know.
That's Goofy, the dog guy from Disney characters.
Yeah. They definitely, I think, took more artistic license on characterizing Goofy than I think. Because, like, Mickey's translation, yes, he's, like, more Jedi Master protagonist vibes, but that translation tracks for Mickey. Donald, they're adding some interesting things for Donald, but I think of the main Disney characters we see, the most offshoot we're seeing is Goofy, for sure.
And that's such a testament to Bill Farmer's performance, isn't it?
100%.
The fact that it doesn't really matter what this guy says or what he does. The minute he goes, A-hyuck, that's Goofy.
Yeah, that's Goofy. And the fact that we ever could have theoretically had a world where Steve Martin doing his own voice was, I mean, it's like what happened with Chris Pratt with Mario, right? It's like we dodged that bullet.
Or the thing they're making fun of in DuckTales 2017 where they cast Donald Duck as Don Cheadle. Do you know about this?
I did not know this.
There's an episode of DuckTales 2017 where like
Donald's there.
Which Donald is a main character.
Yeah.
Or like a major character of.
Yeah.
And they like put like a computerized little like voice implant in his throat, and all of a sudden for like a temporary amount of time, Donald Duck has like a normal voice and he's played by Don Cheadle.
That's iconic. We love
really
that.
funny.
I love that for everybody. I think that like Goofy, I mean, I'm happy he's here. I think that he's a necessary balance to the trio. I think the important thing with any trio is that, you have like, if we're talking like Triforce vibes, it's like you have a balance of forces.
Yeah.
And he is a necessary balance to those forces.
Yeah. He's grounded so that Sora can be light and fluffy and Donald can be outrageous.
Yeah, and prickly. Goofy's the boobah to Donald's Kiki.
So true. Wow. Really true. That's it.
Yeah. Where does he? Yeah. That's Goofy.
Yeah.
It's a nice time.
Yeah, just a
goofy time.
A goofy time. Especially I think the serious moment in Kingdom Hearts 2 is the goofiest part of all.
Yeah. Yes. We need that right now. We need a little A-hyuck.
GAWRSH.
We really
sure
needed this. Well, Mischa, thank you so much for going on the platonic green grassy road through Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. It's a nice little jaunt. It's a nice little stroll, except for that one really weird part where he dies for a little bit in that detour, and then we're just gonna move on past that and back to the platonic nice road.
Yeah, and from here we can either go to the Powerline concert, to the Ravine, and go fishing.
Dang, why must you make me choose? Why can't we go to the Road to Dawn? Right down the middle. The Powerline concert at the Ravine where we go fishing.
Now there's an idea. Powerline live at the Ravine.
Ooh, hell yeah. Well, thank you again so much for listening to this podcast. If you have thoughts on Goofy or want to just gush about Powerline or any other silly things, let us know on Patreon.
Yeah.
Send us a DM on Instagram. Yeah.
I'll say, like, we came out of this episode finding a fairly flat picture of Goofy. If you have some nuance that we didn't think of, I would love to hear it, honestly.
Please, yeah. Like, give me as much dimensionality. Give me as many dimensions as high render, sweet Unreal Engine 5 graphic Goofy should deserve.
Put our opinions through the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, and also tell me what you think Goofy's Keyblade should look like. I want to hear all the goofy thoughts.
Yeah.
Or, send us a DM, a message in a bottle on Instagram. Send some love and support to the show if you can. We're working on this all by ourselves.
Truly. Yeah, it's just Mayanna and me here in this blanket fort.
In the blanket fort.
I'm having such a fun time making this show, but it also takes some hours to do.
Send some love. Send us some love.
The only way to keep the art you love alive in 2025 is to support it directly, so please help us out.
And also, if you can't send money, which again is fine, leave us a review, share the show with a friend, gush about it on social media, fall back in love with Kingdom Hearts, why don't you? And as always, may your heart be your guiding key.
A-hyuck!